Welcome to the Senior Home Business Channel. My name is Matt Stafford. I'm the Senior Living Specialist teaching students in 32 different states to do exactly what I do. So what is it I do? I'm a referral agent in California. You can see behind me Stafford, seniorsolutions.com. On the other side, seniorhomebusiness.com. But today I want to bring to you 3 top questions you need to be asking communities before you would even consider your mom or dad going there, okay? It's not the typical questions you might find on Google. I'm telling you, you could Google some questions, you'd be like, oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of them. What's the budget? What's the activities and what type of food they have? I'm giving you the 3 top questions you need to be asking. The first question you need to ask the community is, who's caring for mom or dad? Now, what I mean by that is, again, these communities are not all the same. It's just not. We think they are, but they're not. So you need to interview the nurse, the CNA, if you can get to her. If not, with permission of the community, talk with a couple caregivers and find out exactly from their experience what it's like to take care of an individual there. And most of this is going to be the vibe that you get, right? They're going to give you all the same standard comments that they love seniors and this is what they do, and depending on the care level of the senior and all that. But you want to get the vibe. Is it really somebody that you can trust, that you know that your mom or dad would be comfortable with, right? And then you want to figure out their level of experience, their tenure, how long they've been there. These caregivers, man, they bounce around sometimes. Now there's a lot of good ones, and there's, like anything else, there's some below average ones out there, but get the vibe as you talk to them. Now, if you're considering a residential care home, talk to the care home owner. How long has he or she been in business? Has it been just for the last couple of years, couple of decades? Are they a nurse? Whatever it may be, but get that part of the information. The second part of this, how your mom and dad's going to be cared for, is how often will mom or dad be seen? How often will it be checked up on, right? I mean, the caregivers have a schedule. They're not omnipresent. They can't be everywhere, so they got a schedule, right? Typically in a large community, there's one caregiver for every 10 to 15 apartments. So depending on what's happening all along the way, your mom or dad might be seen a couple times a day. Now, they also have pendants, they have bells, they have other ways to notify the staff that mom or dad is, needing care. But how does that look? I mean, the schedule is one thing. If mom or dad are going to be seen a couple times a day, is that one time in the morning, one time in the afternoon? Is it one in the afternoon, one in the evening? What is it? Get a feel so you can let mom or dad know what they can anticipate, all right? I mean, it's just, they don't want to be down eating dinner when it's time for them to be seen. So you want to make sure mom or dad is understanding that. So what's the rotation? What's the schedule? Now, talking about caregivers, how will they be notified? Is it a pendant? Is it a bell? Is it some other way that in a care home do they just yell down the hall? What is it? How will mom or dad notify the caregivers that, hey, they're in need of something? I need you to come and administer medication to me. I need you to come give me a shower. I need assistance in some other area. And so you want to make sure that is, up to par, as far as how mom or dad are doing this, because don't allow the community to just say, hey, they all got pendants. They just push a button. Okay, that pendant can malfunction. I've seen them malfunction. I've seen them the batteries go completely dead. I've seen them get dropped and not work again. So you just want to make sure they work. Don't just go with the standard answer, oh yeah, they just push a button. You want to see it demonstrated. And so make sure that, again, mom or dad are confident when they push a button, ring a bell, yell down the hallway, whatever you're comfortable with and whatever they have to do in that community, that mom or dad are comfortable as well. The second question you want to ask the community is, what are their state reviews? Now, you're not looking for perfection here, okay? What you're looking for is transparency. You are looking for the community to be upfront, honest with you about their flaws, just like anything in life. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect, right? And they are not perfect. But if they've had a history of multiple citations, multiple complaints, you want to see that list, that state review list, so that way you can look at this and see trends. Now, they're not going to volunteer this information to you, right? And it's not that they're just being dishonest. I just never heard of any community volunteering state reviews to you. It's one of the ways we evaluate communities is state reviews. But you want to see it because I have seen examples of communities that seem like every 90 days the same mistake happens, the same complaint occurs, the same citation happens, and so they don't learn from it. So they need to learn, but you also need to see a little bit of history right before mom or dad moves into that community. Again, you want to be comfortable that it's okay for mom or dad to be there, but they want to be comfortable as well. And speaking of reviews, don't base your reviews on Google reviews, okay? Let me tell you, There could be a lot of legitimate reviews on Google, but I know there's a lot of fake ones. And I know this to be true because there was one community a couple of years ago. They got about 40, 50 members of their management group up north, all go on their Google and Yahoo accounts and put all these reviews about how their parent loved the community when they walked in. It smelled so good, it was so beautiful, it was so well decorated, the food was fantastic, the caregivers were off the chart. They went on and on and on, and every worker of that organization got like a $5, $10 Starbucks card or whatever it may be, right? So you just want to be careful of that. If you see a lot of 5-star reviews and there's no complaints whatsoever, I'd be highly suspicious of that because, again, no one's perfect. No one is going to get it right every single time. Again, you're not looking for perfection. You're looking for transparency. The third question you want to ask the community is, do you want a copy of the contract? You want to be able to take this home and read it. Don't sign the contract without taking it home, reading it first. A lot of these contracts are like that thick, right? It might take you 30 minutes, might take you up to an hour and a half to sign this whole thing. And if you're going through something that thick, what's going to happen is you're just going to be given a sheet of paper, say sign here, it just talks about this, sign here, sign here. But you want to take it home and read it. Again, most of it's boilerplate information, but you want to zero in on the terms. You want to zero in on some certain costs they have. How often are there price increases, right? You want to look at the community fee. That's one area that can be negotiated. You just want to look through all this because this is so vital, so important. Last thing you want to do is for mom or dad to get into a community, and because you didn't really read something in the contract, then a year later mom or dad needs to leave and can't stay there any longer because the price just jumped 20%, which I know that's a little absurd. That would not happen, I don't think. It's usually 3 to 5%, but still it could get out of mom or dad's price range. So you just want to look at that, be very careful. Anything that you agree with the community orally, you talk about something, they say, oh yeah, we'll do that, no big deal. Make sure it's written down, signed, and dated in the contract. That way you have something later on as a signed copy for you that you can show them later that, yeah, you did talk about this and they promised to take care of the situation for you, whatever it is. So you just want to make sure you take it home and read it, and it's hard to read it all when you're just given one sheet at a time in front of you to sign. So don't do that. Take it home, read it, have your spouse read it, significant other, family member, somebody else to kind of help you out too. But look at the terms, look at all what's in there. Now, dealing with seniors, moving into communities. Again, I own a placement agency, Stafford Senior Solutions. You go to StaffordSeniorSolutions.com. We've helped several hundred seniors over a 5-year period of time. We love it. If you have any questions, any concerns, if mom or dad are looking for a residential care home or a large community, we can negotiate for you. And that's one thing you want to look at the contract because some of these things are negotiable. The community fee is oftentimes negotiable. The equation in this industry is rent plus care equals cost. The rent portion is negotiable. The care, not so much. But if you didn't know that, you would just kind of go in and go, okay, that's what the price is. And then you would just pay it. Or you would just go, well, I can't afford it, and go somewhere else. So you want someone to negotiate for you. That's what we specialize in. Most referral agencies don't do this. Either A, they don't know how to do it, or B, they know how to do it, but they don't want to do it because in essence decreases the amount of money that a senior will pay. But if that happens and we get a percentage of that move in, then the ultimate payout to us is a lot less, right? I don't really care if it's a lot less because I'm more of an advocate for seniors. I want the senior to pay less. I want the senior to get in there in a great community with a great deal. And if you're looking for a great community and a great deal in the state of California, anywhere in the state of California, again, StaffordSeniorSolutions.com, I can help you. Just hit the link below. You can text me to see my number down below. Would love to talk to you. Until next time, God bless.